This next comic does comedy all over the city, all over the country. Everybody, get ready to lose your minds for Kevin Frolix. Come on.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I am a comedian, and I am going to be telling jokes. That is how I like to start my sets now. That way, if this doesn't go well, you at least know what I was trying to do. I should say I am a comedian at night, and only at night, because I'm not what you would call successful or whatever. I have a day job. During the day, I have a customer service job, and those two jobs are the worst things you can do to yourself. They are the worst. Nobody takes those two jobs seriously. People say the most disrespectful thing to both customer service people and comedians, you know? Real condescending about it. You know, like if you're a comedian, people come up to you and they're like, oh, can you tell me a joke? If you work in customer service, they come up to you like, oh, can you kill yourself? It's real condescending. I hate when people ask me about what I do for work. It's such an embarrassing question to answer, you know? Like, so if you have an embarrassing job, this is what I've started to do so that I don't have to have that conversation anymore. When people say, hey, what do you do for a living? I just say, I did what I had to do to survive. And they don't ask any questions. That's the end of it right there. I went home to New Hampshire recently, and while I was there, I was in downtown Concord, New Hampshire, right next to where I grew up. And they've done a bunch of construction in that area. They've built a whole bunch of new restaurants, a whole bunch of new stores in downtown Concord. You guys probably heard about this. I was checking out some of the new stores, and one of the new stores that they built, not making this up, is a yo-yo store. So the economy's fine, everybody. Next time you hear somebody say, Obama is killing this economy. Nope, yo-yo store. You know what that means? That means the economy is so good right now, people can afford to have dreams again. I went inside of the yo-yo store because I really wanted to see what it looked like on the inside, and I was surprised. What the yo-yo store was, it was a store filled with yo-yos. That might seem obvious, but I feel like I need to explain that still, because when you see a yo-yo store, part of your brain is still like, no way. Can't be. It can. I went in, wall-to-wall yo-yos, and all that was inside the store, other than the merchandise, was the owner of the store, alone, of course, just playing with a yo-yo, doing tricks in the corner. Not for anyone in particular, just for the love of the game. And I walk in, start looking around, and he just looks at me and goes, hey man, let me know if you have any questions. And what I wanted to ask him was, yeah, why? But I thought that might be kind of mean, you know, making fun of his job like that. So I asked him what I thought was a nicer question. I said, yeah, sure. Which yo-yo is your favorite? And in all seriousness, this guy looked at me and said, well, the yo-yo I'm using right now is probably the one I use most often, but my favorite yo-yo is actually clipped to my waist. And then he pulled a yo-yo off of a belt clip like he's a surgeon on call. Like at any moment, they might page Dr. Yo-Yo to deliver a baby. But then Dr. Yo-Yo will drop the baby. But he's got the umbilical cord, so he picks up the baby and then puts it to sleep. Those are all the Dr. Yo-Yo jokes. I loved hanging out with the yo-yo guy for that brief moment because for me, it was the first time in my entire life that I've ever known I was the alpha male. First time I've ever had, like, I could have any woman in this room right now, level of confidence. I mean, it's a shame it was just me and the yo-yo guy alone, but still, you know, you could've. I thought about this in my head. If a woman were to walk into the store, she would immediately be the alpha male in that situation. I was down in Washington, D.C. recently because I travel a lot for my jokes. I was in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, if you believe the media. I went to the Jefferson Memorial for the first time. I'd never been to the Jefferson Memorial. There was a park ranger there, and his whole job was to just tell people about Thomas Jefferson. And at one point, this Iraqi couple came up to him and started asking him some questions about Thomas Jefferson. And I should mention that I know they were Iraqi because they said, "Hi, we're visiting from Iraq." I wasn't just looking at them like, yeah, that's one of them. Like, nothing racist or nothing. They just opened with, "Hi, we're visiting from Iraq. Who is Thomas Jefferson? We don't know anything about American history. Why is this man so important?" And the park ranger just told them everything about Thomas Jefferson. I thought that was amazing. I realized something about myself that day. I realized I've been an American my entire life. I don't think I could just explain Thomas Jefferson from scratch. Like, that's amazing what that guy did. I don't know anything about Thomas Jefferson. I know two things about Thomas Jefferson. Same thing we all know. He wrote the Declaration of Independence, and he was the third president of America. And I gotta be honest, I'm only like 40% sure of that second one. Really not sure. I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed by how little I knew about Thomas Jefferson. I was like, why don't I know more things about Thomas Jefferson? And then I remembered, oh yeah, it's because after those two facts, it's just a long list of stuff we all try to forget about Thomas Jefferson. He was not the greatest dude. I feel bad for that park ranger. That has to be one of the most awkward jobs you can have in this country. Because eventually the tough questions are going to get asked at the Jefferson Memorial, right? Like if I was that park ranger, every day I'd have to be like, "All right, hey everybody, welcome to Jefferson Memorial. This is Thomas Jefferson here. He wrote the Declaration of Independence, and he was the third president. Maybe, not quite sure. Be totally honest. Does anybody have any questions about Thomas Jefferson? Yeah, you in the back. Yeah, you said that he wrote the Declaration of Independence. Does that mean he believed all men were created equal? Okay, so here's where it gets tricky. Oh boy. You know what? Let's just go on to the next question. Anybody at all? Yes, you and over there. Yeah. Did Thomas Jefferson have any children? Okay, let's not ask any questions about Thomas Jefferson's children. Does anybody have a question about Lincoln, please, for the love of God? Anybody? Abraham Lincoln, great guy, freed the slaves, terrific American. When he freed the slaves, did he then live out the rest of his life as an American hero? Oh boy. Oh boy. No, somebody shot him in the head for that one. Did the rest of the nation mourn his loss? Half the country was kind of cool with it. This is a weird place. This is a weird place you've chosen to visit. Guys, thank you so much for listening. I've been Kevin Froelich. Enjoy the rest of the show.